everyone, I'm Kipp Wilkinson, and this is Reviews of the Nerds. Today I'm reviewing The Horse and His Boy by C.S. Lewis. The Horse and His Boy is the third book, although that placement is arguable, in the Chronicles of Narnia. The Horse and His Boy follows a young boy named Shasta living on the outskirts of the Calorman Empire. Shasta is tending to the horse of a visitor when the horse bends its neck down to meet Shasta and begins to talk. The horse tells Shasta that his name is Bree, and that Shasta's father intends to sell the boy. Reeling from the revelations, Shasta is at a loss, unsure how to save himself. Then Bree tells the boy of his homeland, a place of freedom, a place of hope, a place called Narnia. Shasta and Bree then set out at a full run to this free land, but along the way they discover a plot for the Calorman army to invade Narnia. Now, the horse and his boy are on a mission to save a country and hopefully themselves along the way. C.S. Lewis is a respected author the world over, and the Chronicles of Narnia is his most celebrated creation. The inspiration for the Narnia series came to him through many conversations with a group of friends known as the Inklings. And the fire in which the world of Narnia was forged was fueled by Lewis's best friend, J.R.R. Tolkien. I've loved the Narnia series since I was a kid, and I try to reread the books every year around Christmas time. It's hard to decide on a favorite, but for me, The Horse and His Boy has always held a special place in my heart. It's impossible to read this book and not be struck by the grace and sovereignty of God. As someone who has lived most of their life feeling worthless and unimportant, this book always reminds me that we all have value in the eyes of Jesus. I give this book a 9 out of 10. I'm Kipp Wilkinson, and remember, not every wardrobe has a magical world hidden inside, but it doesn't hurt to check.
A time for hope. I'm fairly certain I'm not alone when I say Christmas is my favorite time of year. What many don't typically realize, though, is behind those eggnog lattes, decorative wrapping paper, and twinkling lights, many are struggling. What is celebrated as the most wonderful time does not always feel wonder-filled. As our calendars fill and our bank accounts empty, we can find ourselves overwhelmed with emotions sometimes hard to control. As we watch our favorite childhood movies or try to find the recipe for our favorite cookie, our hearts ache over the memory of someone not celebrating with us. As we watch friends partake in activities with their families, we mourn over the dream we wish was our reality. The holiday season is often associated with joy and wonder, which leaves those of us feeling opposite emotions questioning our sanity. If this is you, you're not alone. Let us not forget, though, even in spite of the emotions, there is hope. There is peace, there is joy. When your hearts lean more toward pain and despair, take time to focus your mind on the promise found in the season, the true reason for the season. Just as the Messiah was longed for, you may be longing. Just as his arrival was anticipated, you may be anticipating the arrival of something to bring you comfort and security. I hope you find comfort in remembering the arrival of a Savior is not something you need to anticipate. He has already arrived. Unlike the wise men who searched for good news, your good news is never far away. Just as Elizabeth's unborn child leapt within her womb at the news of the first holiday season, you too can leap for joy, knowing Jesus is where we find hope. He is our joy, and with him we have peace. No matter the season you're in, remember where your joy comes from, in whose plan you can have peace, and just as Matthew 12:21 states, in his name will be the hope of all the world.
Hey everyone, I'm Hector Miray, and this is Faith and Fandom 180 on LTN Radio. So I just spent a week at Disney World with my new in-laws. My wife recently found her father on Ancestry.com, so we have this whole new set of parents and grandparents inducted into our family. And so we went on our first Disney trip with my new in-laws. And we were planning out what days we were going to go to what parks, what rides we were going to ride, and stuff like that. And one of the things that we had to take into account was the fact that my new in-laws are muggles. Like, for real muggles. Like, not involved in pop culture, don't know anything about Star Wars past episode 1, not interested in pop culture and stuff like that. So we had to determine that when we're planning out the days and times that we're going to spend at these parks, where we were going to bring them along. And because the reality is, them waiting in line for a roller coaster in general felt like a foreign concept. But asking them to wait 2 or 3 hours to ride like Star Wars Rise of the Resistance or Smuggler's Run, or to go through a workshop where we build lightsabers together, it was just not something that they would enjoy. And in fact, they would probably receive it very poorly. And it made me think of this Bible verse in Matthew 7 verse 6. And there's no negative connotation to them as I'm saying this, but do not give dogs what is sacred, and do not cast your pearls before swine. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. And it's just this simple concept of know when the right time to throw out what's important. And asking my in-laws to go sit through Star Wars stuff, that would be a waste. And so often I think we, in an effort just to check evangelism off of our list, will throw the gospel out in situations and in circumstances where it's not welcome, wanted, appropriate, or needed. And we end up taking something precious and just kind of using it at the wrong time. Remember to catch Faith and Fandom 180 every Wednesday morning on the Back Row Morning Show, only on LTN Radio. And if you'd like to learn more about Faith and Fandom, head over to faithandfandom.org, where you can learn about our Comic-Con ministry, podcast, memes, apparel, and book series. You can even read new chapters before they make it to the next book. I'm Hector Miray, and thank you for spending the last 180 seconds with me.